You see these photos of Josh Hawley that are coming out right now. I mean, take a look at this. Here he is with Harrison Butker, the Kansas City Chief kicker. You think his handle is Butt Kicker 7 or Butt Kisser 7? I'm not Butt Kicker 7. And because the guys said this horrifically misogynistic stuff at a college speech that he gave. Now Josh Hawley's like, here's the guy that I'm gonna start running around with, and I'm gonna make this my final call for the alphas out there to vote for me and at Butt Kicker 7. That's Harrison Butker's screen name or whatever. Here's what they seem very happy together. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Here's just a small portion from an interview that they did on Fox recently. Play this clip.
How beautiful it is for women to maybe just step aside.
Yeah, the call was for women to step. I don't want to show you more of it. I'll call in Lucas Kunce, who's running for that Senate seat. Lucas, we're pretty close to the election. You're running against Josh Hawley for that Senate seat in Missouri. Just what do you make of all of this?
Yeah, I mean, the dude's a real creep, right? We've all known that for a long time, and he just continues to prove it. It's funny because he hadn't done a public event in the state for 55 days when he flew in and then jetted around on a private jet with Harrison Butker for a couple hot seconds, talking about how beautiful it would be if women just step aside. It's just it's his. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's his policy. I mean, he wrote a self-help book titled Manhood, where he writes about his ideal man and obsesses over other people's masculinity. And the themes of that book are basically women need to get back in the kitchen, and everybody needs to be more like me if you want to solve America's masculinity crisis. Like, it's crazy stuff. I'm glad it's getting exposed, and it's exactly what Missourians absolutely hate about these weirdos who have taken over.
I think we have the video of him on the private jet. I think he was flying around in a G5, it looks like, Missouri, with Harrison Butker doing these interviews. Nothing says kind of man of the people than flying around in your own state in a G5, saying that women need to just don't do anything, okay? Just know your place. I think do we have that video, Brett? If we have this play. So that's how he's spending his time delivering, I guess, his closing message to the people. How are you spending your time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, the guy treats us like flyover country, which frankly, and too many people already treat Missouri as flyover country. Like, we need a U.S. senator who's going to invest in this state. And so, what I'm spending my time doing is getting out and meeting everyday folks all across Missouri and telling them my story. I'm your typical Missouri guy. My parents got married when they were 19 and 22 years old. We lived in a small town. They were Catholic and followed the rules. So, kid, 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 and the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle that went along with that. And we still lived in a great place. And the reason they stopped at 4 kids is because when my littlest sister was born, she had to have a serious open heart surgery. And, it's like in this country when politicians like Josh Hawley for decades have been selling out to folks and building a system that just doesn't work for us. When a big health disaster hits a family that's paycheck to paycheck, you're done. And so for us, my parents went bankrupt, and I just realized the strength that we have in our communities at that time, because when we were at our lowest point, the people in our neighborhood who had no more money than we did, they passed the plate for us down at my mom's prayer group. They brought more food by the house than we could ever eat and just really, really took care of us. And, that's the strength we got in our communities here. Everybody in Missouri has been a part of that on one side or another. They love that I spent my life in the Marine Corps after that, in Iraq and Afghanistan, and serving everybody back. And the only guy in this state that seems that doesn't get it is Josh Hawley. He really just doesn't. He doesn't understand that we're smart enough to make our own decisions. Like, we don't need guys like him telling us how to live, telling women what to do. I mean, the guy recently came out and said that people shouldn't have access to no-fault divorces anymore, presumably because he's tired of women getting out of dangerous marriages. It's just like, is crazy, man. And the polling has reflected that that we're doing the right thing, and that Missourians are ready to reject him. I mean, we were behind a lot when we started. Latest polls have been within 4 and 5, and those were like a month ago. So we continue to close the gap and run this thing all the way to the finish line.
So I understand there is going to be a debate now. He's only giving one date. I think it's on Halloween. I mean, I know he likes to dress up a lot and have different personalities.
And he'll wear his Missouri outfit, huh? Like at the state fair, his cute little Western outfit. I'm still amazed by that.
I mean, do you get I don't know if you can articulate it, so I guess I will. He's cosplaying you. Like, I mean, he's pretending to be you because he knows that your authentic story that you've been through, your military service, growing up in Missouri, everything is authentic. And he's this outsider kind of trust fund kid who's like quite literally acting and putting on this persona to like be you. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, his first job out of school was working at DC's biggest corporate lobbying firm. And it's just, it's crazy, man. But the good thing is that people here see through him. Like, I mean, you can see the guy, you can meet. I keep saying, like, the best way for us to win this election is for Josh Hawley to meet everybody in this state, or for them to all read his book, because it's just, he comes across as fake and phony. His big moment where he sort of showed the world who he is, obviously, was January 6th, where he's out there shaking his fist when he thought it was going to get power. And then, the second shit got real, he's running out the back door as fast as he can, right? Like, that's who the guy is. He's all about himself, luxury suits, designer haircuts, private jets, $2 million estate in Virginia. It's just, it's absolutely crazy. And Missourians can see through that. And, what we're doing right now is just getting that message out there, because they already don't like him, and they're already predisposed to not liking him. And so we need to stay up on TV. I need to keep going everywhere in this state and introduce myself to people. And when we do that, we win. It's that simple.
I mean, his whole shtick right now is, and he wrote the book on it, masculinity. He's the alpha. I'm an alpha. I mean, first off, go back, Brett, and just pull up those the photos right there that I showed you, at the outside. So he's running around with the football kicker to try to show, look at me. Look, I hang out with a football player. Look, I'm wearing really tight shorts and really tight jeans. This makes me an alpha. And then he goes on shows like Fox, and he's like, what the left is taking away from us. When kids in preschool used to talk about guns, and now they're not allowed to. Now preschoolers can't be talking about guns anymore. What are you doing? Like, this was him on the Mark Levin show, saying that the left is trying to destroy traditional masculinity, because every time boys in preschool are aggressive and want to talk about guns, they get put on medication. This is his message to the voters. Here, play this clip.
About him in the book, and you look at what our kids are taught in schools. I mean, from the time they go to preschool, for heaven's sake, they're taught that, if they're a boy, if they want to be aggressive, if they want to talk about guns, no, that's bad. They need to be medicated. They need to be quieted down. When they get a little older, they're taught that manhood is inherently dangerous, that it contributes to climate change, that they need to renounce their masculinity. And you see this ideology, it suffuses, permeates our media, our culture, all driven by the left. And then we want.
I mean, 13 years you served in the Marines. You were in Iraq. You were exposed to toxic burn pits there. You worked with the Afghan National Security Forces. I can go on and on and on. When you've got someone like him giving lectures like that to scare people, what goes through your mind?
I mean, you see the guy talk, though. Like, you've seen the photos. Like, it's all just, everybody knows that it's a fake, and that it's just, he's being a fraud and he's being a weirdo. We just gotta remind everybody of that and get it out there. Because I'm telling you, man, in Missouri, people are predisposed not to like this guy. And I'll give you an example. We were down on the Pomme de Terre River the other day in a little community where a big meat packing facility was just dumping meat sludge all in the streams, all in the pastures. Folks couldn't drink out of their wells anymore. Really, really sad situation. And I've done some big anti-big ag work. So I was invited down there, and I met with the community who's really fighting back in a very incredible and powerful way. And I met with everybody there in a, just like a metal fabricated farm building. And the wildest thing happened. So when I first get there, the lady who's one of the ladies who's hosting is like, we just want you to know that down here we love the governor. And I don't know if she's talking about like the Leonard Skinner song or if she means the governor of Missouri or what, but I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be bad for me, right? And I'm like, well, that's cool. Like, I'm not running against the governor. Let's just talk about what's going on here because I really share your concerns and I want to help clean this place up so you guys can live your lives again. And so we go in there and we start talking for a little bit. And then she's like, she interrupts me actually at one point. And she's like, well, now, wait a second. Let's just hold on for a second here. And she says, I think I can speak for everybody here when I say that we really like you. And then she's like, now, tell me again who you're running against. And I was like, oh, well, I'm running against Josh Hawley. Interrupts me. First thing she says is, oh, my God, I effing hate that guy. She's like, wait a second. Did you do that video, Run, Josh, Run? And it was like a video we did a long time ago, which it went a little bit viral, but there's no reason that she would have ever seen that video. I was just shocked. And I'm like, yeah, we did that video. And she's like, oh, my God, we all passed that around the office. Like, we love that. We absolutely hate that guy. And it's just he's such a fraud, and he just talks down to everybody. And his policy is the same thing, right? He wants to decide how we get to live. I mean, take away no-fault divorces, like that's crazy, man. People think that's nuts. And there's thing after thing like that. And it's just when you're jetting around the state in a private jet and you refuse to meet with anybody and you've made $500,000 writing self-help books on manhood and haven't invested any money in Missouri, like, we got to get that to the people, and the people don't like him. And it's a real opportunity to win one here that, we don't necessarily get every single year.
And when you say self-help books, perhaps he's trying to help himself. I won't, I'm not going to go there. Let me leave you with this. Political realignment. I've been asking a lot of candidates, sitting senators, sitting members of Congress about a phenomenon that I'm observing here that corporate media isn't talking about. And it's that traditional labels, liberal, conservative, progressive versus whatever, it's not capturing what this moment is because the Republican Party has shedded all semblance of conservatism with kind of this MAGA Josh Hawley type strain that has infected it, where freedom to them meant freedom to tell others how they should be living their lives according to people like Josh Hawley. And what I'm seeing a lot of here, and frankly, the growth of this network, is people who, frankly, don't even like politics all that much. They're just like, look, I care about our democracy. I want normalcy. I want normal conversations. I don't want this weird crap. I don't know. Does that make me a Democrat or a progressive? Does that make me conservative? I don't freaking know. I just want to vote for the normal candidates. And that, to me, I capture under a pro-democracy frame versus a Hawley MAGA frame. So what are you seeing anything like that developing in different coalitions and alliances in the state of Missouri?
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing here is just, maybe you could call it an anti-creep movement, but it's just like these guys who are weirdly obsessed about strange things. I mean, he talks about porn all the time, too. It's just like they have these weird obsessions, and their biggest obsession is controlling women. And, we have a ballot on the, a constitutional amendment on the ballot this fall to basically codify Roe versus Wade at the state level. It's going to win by a lot. It's got a lot of support. Of course, Josh Hawley says that he's voting against it because it will force sex change surgeries on minors in schools. Like, just, the weirdest stuff that these guys will say when they're trying to mask what their true intentions are, which is just control everybody. But it's just what we see here is a movement against just like, I don't know, their grossness, for lack of a better word. I mean, our former U.S. Senator, Republican Jack Danforth, who actually made Josh Hawley, like raised all his money for him, cleared the primary field, got him in, has since said that Josh Hawley is the worst mistake he's ever made and that he needs Josh Hawley to lose this election. He's made sure people aren't donating to his campaign. So is the same, there's a big Republican funder down in Joplin who's done the same thing. And it's just, there's a unique moment here where Josh Hawley in particular, I don't know about other places, but like Josh Hawley has just creeped and grossed everybody out to the point that they have abandoned him. And I mean, good, because we need to abandon him. Like, I hope after this election, nobody ever has to think of that man ever again. And he can go, into his hidey hole and continue, brainstorming ways to control people without any power. But I think it's just, that's what I'm seeing right now is just people want to take power back for themselves. They want investment. They want to be able to make their own decisions, and they don't want these guys telling them how to live.
Yeah, Josh Hawley can go wherever he wants to go. He could be free to talk about porn all the time and no fault divorces, and he can look in the mirror and put his hand through his hair and do it. He go. All good. Just can we just get some normalcy in the United States? And hey, Lucas, where can people find out more about you in these closing days and help out if they can?
Yeah, absolutely. We have closed the gap. It's continuing to get there. Like, we have all the momentum in the state. Our biggest newspaper in the state just wrote, they endorsed me and said that Josh Hawley is the worst sitting U.S. senator in the entire country. Like, everything is going the right way right now. As long as we can stay up on TV, keep getting the message out, we'll win this thing. So if you could go to lucaskunce.com and donate, or lucaskunce.com and volunteer, follow us on Twitter at lucaskuncemo, same thing on Instagram. Like it's an amazing, incredible opportunity here. I don't know when it's going to come around again. I mean, just the fact that I'm running against a cartoon villain is like the wildest thing. But here we are, and it gives us a real chance to win this and just, like, again, take power back from these guys so that we can live our own lives and not have to worry about them telling us how to do everything.
Lucas Kunce, thank you so much, everybody. You know what to do. You know how close this is, and really just get active, get involved. Our democracy is on the line. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.